Welcome back to episode 144 of the Block Runner Podcast. I'm your host, William, always here with your co-host, iMan.
Oh, yeah. What's up, dude?
What's up, dude?
I'm excited about this one.
And, of course, on the sticks, we got TJ.
Hello.
All right. So, we're going to be talking about AI again. But it's cool.
It just gets juicier.
But it's cooler this time.
Oh, what do you mean? It hasn't been cool this whole time? Come on.
No, it's been cool, but now we're starting to look at implementations of different AI
I think it's
and
becoming
projects.
cooler for us because we see, for one, we've been theory crafting these concepts for a while now.
You know, one of the things is I got to mention, I wish you guys could spend time here physically with us because even though you guys are watching us on this video, what we're doing on this call, on this phone, on this video conversation is exactly what we do all day, every day offline.
Pretty much, but it's definitely, I don't think as much magic happens here as it does off camera, just because I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that the cameras are rolling, dude.
No, it doesn't.
I'm all shy now. I don't want to talk to you. I don't think it has nothing to do with that. It's just,
all the juices of discovery happen.
Discovery, that's what it is. Because now we're coming into this recording dude, we just spent the last 3 hours.
Yeah, we have to compile everything that we've concluded into a message.
Something that's digestible for you guys. Otherwise, we're just going to be sitting here just bickering at each other for 3 hours. I don't think you guys want to watch that.
Yeah.
But maybe you do.
We used to record 2-hour podcasts, sometimes longer than that.
2.5.
Yeah.
And I guess that's literally what we did. So I guess let's give it a shot, dude. We're going to get kind of back into that mode, or try to.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck Ordinals for now. If we got time at the end of this, we'll get into the Ordinal discussion because we already put out some videos. If you guys are paying attention at all what's going on in the space, Ordinals are flying off the shelves. So we'll get into a little discussion. But, the thing that we're really interested in right now, our brains are
trying to figure
honed in on this whole idea is some more AI stuff, dude. AI integration.
Well, not only AI, but AI in the context
NFTs.
of tokens and a token economy.
Yeah, because we've been bringing that up in some of our videos, right? We obviously called, go back to December and such. We called this AI is inevitably going to intersect with blockchain, right? It makes too much sense. Mm-hmm. And we know how the industry works. We know how developers in Web3 work. You find something trendy, some new technology, and you spin up a whole damn new crypto sector with it, right? And it's been happening. A lot of these AI tokens right now, they're kind of in a little pullback phase, but a lot of these things snapped off.
Yeah.
Right?
AI in coin market cap
it was under
it was 2 billion, under 2 billion. Now it's up 20% today.
No, but when we first started talking about this, it was 800 million, right?
Yeah.
The whole market for all AI tokens. So we've seen a definite expansion over the last month or so. And it feels like it's still not even close to.
Yeah, it's not.
It's just not getting.
We saw a little bubble.
Heated.
Here it is. Here's the bubble that popped recently.
Yeah,
it's within the last 7 days.
Yeah, projects that have been around since forever, Fetch. All of a sudden, they're getting noticed, getting appreciation. But one that's passed our radar somehow was the Liquid AI token.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's artificial liquid intelligence.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, how do we stumble onto this project? So we're going to just dive right in. Alethea.AI, it's a protocol. Mm-hmm. The last thing me and Will have been talking about is whether or not this protocol is even necessary to do the things that it is claiming to enable, right? Mm-hmm. So can we watch this video real quick just to kind of get an idea of a third-party app that was created leveraging this protocol's, standard.
Here we go.
GPT is the world's first multimodal AI system that enables the text-to-character generation of interactive AI characters. Using the natural language prompt input, Character GPT generates each character with their own unique personalities, identities, traits, voices, and bodies. Visit Alethea.AI for more details.
So the unique personality thing, I think once you heard, you're listening to me in the background.
Yeah.
And you heard unique personality. You're like, huh?
Yeah.
It's what? That was interesting because we've been talking about how do we generate personalities, right? Especially for us because we have a project of AI or AI battle bots in the metaverse currently deployed into Decentraland. They're there.
Yeah.
If you visit a Rovi plot in Decentraland, you'll see these little guys roaming around.
Yeah.
Right?
I can pull it up too.
Yeah, let's pull it up. So in case you haven't seen, this is our project, and we've been building it for a little over a year now. And we've gotten to the stage where we got these things. They're NFTs, just like everything else, but they are metaverse companion NFTs. Through the power of MetaZone, now they're able to deploy, and you can interact with them. We could build whole games around them, ecosystems, whatever. We're in the process of doing that.
Yeah, and when we came up with this idea, we knew, we called it Rovi.ai for a reason.
Yeah.
And so now we're thinking about implementing, different models of artificial intelligence so that when you jump into Decentraland and see one of these little guys, you can ask it its origin story. You can ask it about what's going on in the world, and it will respond to you.
Yeah, there's tons of reasons why this where these inspiring thoughts even come from, right? Because I mean, the metaverse is so unique in its function, like what it enables like developers to do. It's more unique than most other game verses are capable of. Meaning, like it's almost an infinite scope of coolness you can inject into your creations, right?
Yeah,
that is the premise behind giving developers an access to an SDK framework that is so robust and flexible and very feature rich, so you can do these types of things, right? You can integrate these APIs into your products and create a unique experience for your user base, something you can't really do in most other games,
right?
So we're like, dude, we need to fully leverage this so that people when they interact with their Rovi, do they want to come back every single day?
Yeah, exactly. So then in the context of this conversation, implementing AI is, for all intents and purposes, straightforward. I mean, it's you leverage existing protocols like OpenAI. You implement them in the style that you want to create an experience for your community, and all of a sudden you are interacting with an artificial intelligence. Now you can use like existing ChatGPT models, or you can create your own model, train your own model, and all of a sudden you have like a unique AI experience. So I think the implementation is pretty straightforward, and it looks like that we might be able to enable this in the next couple of weeks. But point here is not the implementation of AI, because I don't think that is all that crazy difficult.
Yeah,
it's the tokenization of an economy around such a product where there's an artificial intelligence involved. And so I think that's like the main talking point of us trying to figure out like something sustainable.
Well, because I guess this also was introduced because Alethea does have a token, right?
Right.
So they're trying to service something. They're building a protocol that anybody can kind of leverage to generate exactly what we're talking about, some sort of unique personality that's encapsulated into an NFT, right? They call these things intelligence pods. Yeah. And at some point last year, they minted 10,000 of them, standard 10K project, right? But these things are definitely unique in the fact that they're basically vehicles that you could use to fuse to existing NFTs, the intelligence component, right? Yeah. Without the fusion of one of these intelligence pods, there's no way to recognize that an NFT is AI enabled or not, right? Oh, snap. I didn't know there was sound to this.
Wow.
So there it is, dude.
Yeah. So
hold on, I want to keep hearing it. It's so cool.
Hold on.
Oh, unless, you think it might be copyright or something?
No, it's not that. But
it's just the same song, yeah.
Yeah, it's just
cyberpunk, dude. Right on.
So yeah, what you're looking at here is just an NFT from this project Alethea, and they sold, like you're saying, 10,000. And what they did was they created a smart contract that fuses this particular intelligence pod with a separate NFT that you have.
Like, let's say a Bored Ape, right?
Right.
You could fuse one of these pods to a Bored Ape. Doesn't necessarily like fuck with anything that's original to the Bored Ape NFT itself, and that's the purpose, right? That's where me and you kind of got into is this necessary or not, right? Because we could integrate all the technologies that exist for AI without any like Web3 fuckery, right? That's kind of like what this looks like. There's a lot of Web3 fuckery here.
Yeah.
Is it needed? Is it not needed?
Yeah.
Right?
Because protocols that are needed, they end up becoming like Uniswap. They're multi-billion dollars.
Yeah, so this
Ethereum. Like these are things that are needed.
Primitives, standards. Yeah. Like these are potentially, if the consensus among the developers it ends up being This is a need.
We need to update Ethereum with this new EIP.
Well, not necessarily. Like
if
engine,
it's a primitive, I mean, yeah.
Is that how? Like for like a token standard, like a ERC 1155, that had to get approval, huh?
Yeah,
you're right. So I don't know if they're actually proposing like a new standard protocol framework for this or not, but they should. I would think so. But okay, so describe the smart contract again that they did.
So they fuse an intelligence pod, an iNFT personality pod, with an existing NFT, and it basically locks up both NFTs and it mints an iNFT.
Okay.
And so in this iNFT, your original PFP project becomes intelligent.
Yeah, but
so then what can you do with that as a developer? Is like now you can create, I guess a metaverse where all the PFP projects are intelligent.
But what is the actual technical intelligence like enabling thing? You know what I mean? It's not just, I guess what's stored on chain in these iNFTs are the actual personality traits themselves,
the traits,
right? Yeah, because like you don't want to muddy up the actual NFT itself, right? Like you don't want to change its properties.
Yeah, you can't. Theoretically, you can't because some other project
like Yuga.
Yeah, they're not going to change it for
exactly
AI.
It's like, hey, by the way, it's like your Bored Ape 2,739. Just they want to be intelligent.
Yeah.
Can you go ahead and change their properties?
Yeah, it's a no.
They're like, fuck you, dude. It's like, how about we make them intelligent?
Yeah.
Screw you guys.
Right.
So you do have to develop some sort of like layer 2 smart contract level for NFTs, right? In order to have these sort of appendable, imbuable properties, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we had a very similar idea back in the day.
Way back.
Yeah.
Called imbued.
Yeah, where you would merge different NFTs.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely find it on our channel somewhere. We're talking like way back in the day, like maybe even 3 years ago when we came up with this.
Yeah, it was. It was
right around the time when we first launched MetaZone and such. But anyways, I was like, dude, wouldn't it be cool, like, if you could imbue an existing NFT with, I don't know, another NFT that represents some sort of enhancement?
Yeah, some rarity component.
Yeah, like something that took time and money to generate, like this imbuable aspect. Think of it as like an enchantment if you ever play like an MMORPG.
Right, there you
have
go.
like a cool sword.
Yeah.
And you want to enchant it with something that's very expensive to acquire, but once you do it, it makes your sword glow and like
more powerful,
like a legendary status NFT. So we're like, dude, inevitably this is gonna happen, right? People are gonna want to like add provenance or coolness to their NFTs.
Yeah, and you could create a whole token economy just like they did, right? Same thing as Alethea. You create a token economy where in order to merge fuse these two NFTs, you need the ALI token.
Yeah.
And so now you have an entire ecosystem.
Yeah, so that's one component to this. It's like we're talking token stuff now, right? So there's that. That's a base expectation of like why a token could be important. It's the transactional unit to like do something.
Yeah.
What else could they do? I mean, because apparently they're rewarding ALI tokens to, I guess, generated AIs in the metaverse or something like that. That's actually servicing like people, real humans.
Yeah, you mentioned something I thought was interesting. Is like if you could start with a base model artificial intelligence and you train it for like particular vertical like engineering or mechanical engineering specifically. And people find out that there's an AI that knows a lot about mechanical engineering, and instead of like finding books to figure out a problem or finding books to like figure out some sort of anything that you needed to find out about mechanical engineering, you just ask the AI. It's like, what is this?
Yeah.
And it would just respond. And so those that query your AI that you curated in terms of training, like you would earn tokens because you provided a service.
Yeah, or your AI will earn tokens. Like if it's for now,
well, that's it. You own the AI, right?
I understand, but I'm already thinking like
its own
into the future. It's like now people are gonna be like, hold on, dude.
Sentient.
Yeah, like that's not right. You're taking your AI's earnings.
This is not your money. This is my money.
Exactly. I could see that like evolving, like that discussion. It's like how much rights should these? Because these are the AIs are doing all the work. All the heavy lifting.
Yeah, but are they like working in terms of like we work? Where we get tired and we need like rest and stuff. AI doesn't need rest.
No. But there is computational spend to all this work, right? So there is like an actual expense.
The real cost is electricity because you need servers and systems to run this stuff, right? So
I guess I'm just going like too far down the philosophical rabbit hole. It's like now it was like,
yeah, you're trying to make AI sentient. We're friends. we're allies.
Well, like equal rights participants.
Yeah.
I know that would take many like possibly generations for that to come about.
I feel like and I feel like that's a separate question, like a separate podcast too, because
yeah, I know, but that's what interests me. Just the fact that they didn't say like, you know, the owner of the AI is earning these tokens. It's like the AI itself for the services it provides earns.
Well,
and it kind of like put that in my head. It's like
there's a different vertical in the economy called IoT, Internet of Things, where the actual device is the thing that's earning based on its action. Like so say for example you put an IoT device in a train, and in that train like it passes through some field where it's like a checkpoint.
Yeah.
And that checkpoint that IoT device has the manifesto of the entire train. So it passes through that field, that checkpoint, and like it gets paid like 1,000th of a penny for maintaining a manifesto. Okay. But the whole point is that IoT device is earning money.
Correct. But not really. It's like whatever organization or entity that I guess put it there,
right?
They're the ones earning money, right?
And same goes with AI, right?
Yeah, and I guess these AI characters, or what we like to call them, companions, it's kind of like the same thing, right? So that's why what's so interesting about us is like we want to add more value layers to you know, metaverse companions, and because we think this whole obviously PFPs popped off, right? That was the first thing to really capture, like, you know, the zeitgeist's wave.
Yeah, we're looking at an example of kind of like
potential companion here, right?
Yeah, theory crafting here. So they have a pinned tweet from January 19th. It says enables a generation of interactive intelligent AI characters for various use cases, including Sandeep, friend of the show, which is Sandeep runs Polygon Network.
Yeah, founders and CEO, I think.
And so here he is as a character, you know, interacting as a.
Can we hear him speak? Let's see how.
No, it's just a
GIF.
GIF.
Just a GIF.
Yeah. But
that's very valuable, dude.
Yeah, you can you know, what if they minted a Vitalik NFT, right? That you can chat with.
But Polygon is because like so now the Polygon community ecosystem, they could all collectively contribute to this. This is how we're thinking about it. How do we access this? How do we create a very powerful incentive community ecosystem where now you could just custom create information bases, I guess, for valuable services.
Yeah.
Like, so Polygon, an example of that would be the community can now contribute everything they know about Polygon.
Yes.
As if, you know, so that would be a better version of even Sandeep. Like even he probably forgets things from time to time, but this AI never forgets, right? The AI always has this information to its disposal. So when you inquire with it, it's going to, you know, tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's valuable to us as developers who are also building on Polygons. Like, hey, man, I heard you guys are doing ZK soon. It's like, what's the integration process to that?
Yeah.
We don't actually have to interact with real humans anymore. We can just inquire Sandeep's little dude here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give us the step-by-step process to, you know, how do we build on ZK?
That'd be interesting. It's like every company mints like the CEO NFT, and like
or like a mascot would be cooler.
Yeah, and then you could just ask it questions about your project, and it'll just respond with like the latest.
And it's reliable. It's like, dude, you don't have to worry about the guy. It's like, you know how companies work, right? It's like customer service.
Yeah,
it's the guys you hire. You probably train them, but they don't really know.
They don't know. Yeah,
they're not like at the executive level. Like they weren't there from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know,
but if they had an AI trained by the community about the project,
and of course, you know, Polygon themselves would contribute to this information base. You have probably the best representation of a company you could formulate, right?
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. And then like once you ask it all these technical questions, then you can like bro out and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's like,
you know, it's depending on what personality it has.
Yeah. What do you think about Bitcoin ordinals?
Yeah, there you go. Damn. See, everybody becomes max interesting, dude.
Yeah.
Well, not everybody, but all these things. Look at this. Andy's beautiful. You know, you can make him anything you want.
Yeah.
So this is what's exciting, man. And I don't know. I'm pumped about this, you know.
So how do we implement this with Rovi though? Like
same. Because we want, so we want Rovies to be valuable in the sense, okay, Rovies started off as a BattleBot play to earn type of ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
Where you can come in with your Rovies. You could do PvE activities to acquire loot and craft different things like accessories and weapons in order to prepare yourself for an inevitable PvP clash.
Yeah.
Very similar to like an Axie Infinity, ecosystem scheme. But I mean, dude, we have the benefit of being in the metaverse, in the open metaverse with all these things that can reach beyond just games, right?
Yeah.
Like, what if we add another layer of coolness or value to, this guy right here? Every time you can interact with him, you can get real personal and close with him. I don't know, dude. The more you tell him about yourself, like he'll just ask you.
It's like, hey, how are you doing?
Yeah, it's like, hey man, did you ever fix that thing? Did you go see the doctor about that thing you told me about? Stuff like that, dude. It's
What's
like,
the update?
Yeah, dude, I'm worried about you. Like, wouldn't that feel good? Like every time you log in, your Rovi's like, dude, I missed you.
Yeah.
Kind of like the things you wish your dog could tell you.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Your dog loves you and misses you every time you come home because the fucking tail's going crazy. They're jumping on you, but it doesn't tell you anything.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not intelligent to like enrich your life in any way.
It's like tell you what's going on all
dude.
over the world.
It's like, bro, did you hear about what happened in Syria?
What do you think about those balloons?
Yeah, dude. And then see, you would have to, man, that would be hard to like manifest a personality like that. How would I generate my personality into an AI?
You would train it. You would train it. But the way that you would train it, it would have to be like directly, which is the problem.
What do you mean?
Right. Meaning like, let's say you are into the whole UFO thing happening right now, right? China,
very
balloons, UFOs, all that stuff.
Yes.
But you would have to tell your AI that you're into it rather than like it's being part of your computer or your browser where you're automatically just searching about UFOs. Like it would know that you're into it. Right.
Okay.
So that's the only issue. So I think once like, we can hit hardware level artificial intelligence where it just like understands what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like then you would have something kind of, it would say, hey, did you hear about this new UFO sighting in somewhere else?
Yeah. Interesting. So that's very personal, granular stuff. So this is what I'm thinking, like the way we can use this for Rovies. I think there's like several tech stacks or AI stacks that I think we're going to have to end up accessing.
So this is probably going to happen like in multiple phases because we have to implement an MVP version just so we can get it out there, right? And get the response from everybody, interacting.
Get a feel for, I guess do like a survey. It's like, dude, is this enhancing your Rovi owner experience? Do you want more of this? Stuff like that, right?
Because we can implement like a general AI to Rovies and it'll be tapped into like it's like base training data about the world. Or does it make more sense for our community to train their own Rovies?
I think so, for sure. But it's not like a bad thing, the fact that, we want like personable Rovies and stuff that have like their quirky moments and whatnot.
Yeah.
But we still want them to be like ultimately intelligent. Like we want them to be able to source GPT-3 and 4, right? Whenever we want.
Sure,
right?
sure.
Whenever, like, just to have access to that superpower.
Yeah, I think we have to understand, like, nothing is ever going to be perfect. So what I mean by that is if you have an artificial intelligence that knows everything, that means that when you ask it something, it may not provide you an accurate answer. Rather than having a specifically trained artificial intelligence on, like, engineering, for example. Like, that one would give you, like, specific correct answers the majority of the time. Because it doesn't need to know what's happening with Beyonce and like it doesn't need to know all that stuff.
It wouldn't know anything beyond just what's engineering about.
No.
So I guess,
so maybe like this artificial intelligence is like only knows about different metaverses and only knows about like the stuff that's going on in Decentraland, for example.
Well, one thing's for certain, we want it to be like a representative of the Rovi, the Rovi project, the Rovi ethos. So I think part of that is we have to create some sort of like, neural network of people contributing towards this information, right? The historical information of how Rovi came about, the contextual stuff about the metaverse, all the different tokenomics understandings of like, how, and all of this has to be kind of like community fed in my head. I think that's how it'll come about.
I can see that, because you would jump into Decentraland and I see this little guy.
Yeah.
And you click on it and it's like, it's just a prompt. And then you're just like,
yeah.
What are you? It's like, oh, we're Rovies. We've come from a different planet. And here's my origin story. Is like, okay, how do I get started? It's like,
correct. Yeah.
and it will tell you everything you need to know.
It's like, who made you?
Yeah.
These guys apparently, well, I'm in an Oscar according to YouTube.
Yeah.
That's the most, and we're talking like 20, 30 years in the future. Like maybe we're all like,
maybe not too that.
Maybe we
that
all
far.
caught the Last of Us fungus or something, and we're all dead.
Yeah.
But Rovies are still alive, so we'll be like Satoshi legends. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, dude. It's like, who's these 3 guys?
Yeah.
But the Rovies will know because they have all that information.
Yeah, right.
Because the community that exists now can feed it that, right? So I think that's super valuable.
So now we're talking about these different phases about, general intelligence. Now we have like hyper-specific community intelligence. And then now you inject a token. It's like, how do you sustain and create an ecosystem out of all this?
Yeah, because when it comes down to us, we're always thinking about sustainability from everything.
Yeah.
From even the inception of MetaZone, that's the reason why it came about, because the metaverse was clearly not sustainable for like anything.
Yeah.
Just the existing model of it. So we're like, okay, we need to create this platform that injects some sort of like a sustainability for developers or creators. And then of course, Rovies itself. It's the reason why we haven't rushed to like deploy some on-chain token. There's some members in the community who are like, dude, just put it on chain. Let's have at it.
Happens.
Dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
We know like that's usually like a recipe for just,
depression.
Yeah, which is not good because it's really difficult to climb out of those situations. You want to have a very well thought out, very well pre-planned ecosystem with plenty of syncs, with good value production from the ecosystem itself. Right. Because then a token makes sense, right? Otherwise, it's just a speculative vehicle that really has no utility or function or service or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, what do you think?
So then it's like, okay, so what are the frameworks to do something like this? Well, we have to kind of mimic real life, because let's say, for example, we take you and I, for example, where, we live on Earth and our existence has minimum requirements, such as like shelter, food, oxygen, water. Like these are all fundamentally necessary for us to remain alive, right?
Okay, yeah.
And so when it comes to Rovies and like any other ecosystem, there needs to be some degree of inherent consumption. And so Rovies, for example, like when they battle, their energy depletes. Or when you're asking it questions, its intelligence meter goes down. Like there has to be some sort of inherent consumption to
I see what you're saying.
Keep this thing going, to have motivations to like keep it upgrading and progressing.
I think so. I think that's definitely like a value component to like, keeping something. If something is truly valuable, you'll continue to sustain that.
Yeah.
Whatever the cost. And I made the comparison of like your child, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a baby,
yeah.
Another human being that you spawn on this earth.
Yeah.
Right. These things eventually become intelligent. They don't necessarily like provide you any sort of monetary return.
Yeah.
Unless you hit the lottery, dude. Like, so, your kid becomes the next Britney Spears. Oh, and then I think actually she like sued her parents or something like that. So that's probably not a good example.
Yeah, she did.
Or like her dad, like, I don't fucking know.
She was getting abused by her family.
She had a rough life, dude. So it doesn't always work out is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, you still, you support these babies for a reason, right? Because you have an intimate connection with it. That's you. That's your soul duplicated, replicated, right? So,
and on that,
it made me think
it's not much of a stretch.
Yeah.
Of artificial intelligence having a role in that, where you want to maintain it.
Well, that's what I mean. And then I started thinking about like, I think another reason why we have such deep connections amongst humans is because we know we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
So it's like, is death possibly a necessary like component to getting humans to appreciate AI on the same level?
Yeah.
Because you could pre-program the death of an AI, couldn't you? Like,
you could, absolutely, yes.
Maybe if that's part of the AI, like, you know how Alethea or whatever they're called, they're having these personality pods. What about like a soul pod?
Yeah.
That has all this stored information. Like, it's just, it's going to die in 25 years.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, imagine like a tokenomics where, sort of like Bitcoin, where the last Bitcoin mine is in the year 2140.
Yeah.
It's like maybe this AI is going to stay alive until that year, and then that's it.
Yeah.
So,
and what if this AI is owned, what if this Rovi is owned by Elon Musk? And Elon he's interfacing with his Rovi on a daily basis. He's feeding it all of his like personal information and stuff. It's like, dude, that's a fucking valuable Rovi, man. I want to I want to hop into Decentraland or whatever metaverse that this Rovi is deployable in.
I want to enter question. What's the latest meme, Elon?
Yeah. It's like, who you smashing today, Elon? Stuff like this. He's like, yeah. But knowing that this bot will be dead at some point, that's the end of it.
Yeah.
You won't be able to do that anymore. Like, you know.
Yeah. I wonder, like, is death permanent?
For who?
For AI, like in this case.
I was gonna say that's awful deep, Will.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Yeah, obviously we don't know on our own behalf, but we operate on a daily basis as if it is, right? That's why we hold so much value to the idea that we're gonna die. Right?
Yeah.
To me, that, in my opinion, so we're getting into philosophy here, right? That's why we tip each other, right? Because we know like there's value to someone else's life.
Right.
Sustaining somebody's livelihood is of importance.
Yeah.
We want to take care of all humans for a good reason, right?
Yeah, because they're providing a service.
Well, not all.
Are all humans not providing a service? I guess they're not.
Not all of them, but still,
they have value.
They do. There's a innate desire to preserve that, right? Because unless you're like some evil fuck, you know,
that's one of the main reasons why Elon is so forward about getting to Mars, because he thinks of Earth as like this intelligent flame and like in this vast blackness.
Oh shit.
Right, and it could be extinguished, by like in a mass extinction event.
It's true.
And so we have to like go to different planets and like, live.
Absolutely, like that's such a critical task. You know.
Yeah.
If you can like extrapolate to that level and like, dude, that's tremendously valuable to preserve that no matter what. Like just in case, like what if we are the only instance of this?
There's a chance we might
happening in the universe. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a tragedy that would be if we just blew it.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? So somebody has to think on this level to, again, preserve that thing.
Yeah.
That is humanity, right? The soul of humanity. So will we ever come to that same, like, I guess, I don't know, appreciation for artificial versions of ourselves? I
feel like we can. I
think we can too.
If you've seen the movie Her, like he's interacting with AI the whole movie, and it's just like a voice.
But I'm speaking more on like not so much like the emotional connections we can form these things, like the kind of like Bitcoin. How the fuck did we all get convinced that like these digits on a screen actually represent value? Well, it's because we leverage like existing value components from like the physical world, right? Like, scarcity, difficulty. Like these don't naturally exist on like the blockchain, but somebody artificially created these parameters to this thing called Bitcoin.
Sure.
And that's how we all kind of like came to a consensus, or are slowly coming to a consensus. Like, dude, this is valuable.
That's true.
So can we do the same thing with AI by injecting things like mortality, injecting things like personality? Now these things are all unique.
Sure.
There's never going to be a like-minded artificial intelligence. They'll all be unique.
Yeah.
So therefore, how are they any less valuable than humans are if we have all the same shared,
you would have to build an artificial intelligence on some sort of protocol like a Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So it could be provable, like scarcity.
Exactly.
Provable uniqueness.
And immutable, right?
And
like you cannot fuck with it. It's tamper-proof. Like these are definitive. Like there's a ledger somewhere God has access to, I guess.
Yeah.
Like we're all on it.
Yeah.
Like the finiteness of all of our existence is logged somewhere.
Yeah.
We don't get access to view it, unfortunately, or fortunately. I don't know. But because of that reality, it's like, dude, that's why we value ourselves so highly.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah. Like we have a limited existence.
We do. If we didn't, dude, like then fuck you.
Yeah, nobody would get anything done.
Or I don't know, just like what would happen? There'd be so many humans for one.
Yeah.
So we're already like kind of diminishing our value because there's gonna be so many of us.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah. So
that was my little philosophy moment. Just
So the challenge here is implementing a token where like it makes sense.
Yeah, and also I think I just kind of convinced myself of how important like the on-chain aspect of all of this data is, right?
Yeah, the on-chain aspect, but also the business aspect, because just injecting artificial intelligence isn't free, right? It's costing somebody something anytime you're asking a question.
Yeah.
And so it has to be sustainable again. So there's a cost and there has to be an expenditure associated with it, like on the other end.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's why it feels like it makes sense that it's continuously draining like its energy, or it's like, I don't know, some sort of indicator that represents its intelligence.
Correct. Yeah, I think that again falls in line with what I was talking about. Like those are examples of, I guess, like difficulty, right?
Yeah.
If there's some sort of difficulty element to the sustainability of all this, therefore, like those who are able to contribute the most in opposition of those difficulty standards, it's like, you know, you're rewarded the best, or you get the most allocation of rewards and stuff like that. So this is like just the groundwork. This is how you get an ecosystem started. But yeah, now there's like a whole, how do you close these loops?
Right.
There's a lot of considerations that goes into like, you know, designing token economies, or I guess economies in general, especially digital ones.
Right.
It's fucking insane. Like you're literally playing God, building everything from the ground up, but you still have to have that deep understanding of like human psychology, because ultimately those are the participants. Those are the value injectors into an ecosystem or an economy. So it's like, how do you keep everybody fulfilled?
Yeah.
At the same time.
Man.
That's tough, dude. That's a tough task.
Yeah, when you put it that way, it seems extremely difficult.
The fact that like we're tasked to do this.
Yeah. And like we're just like just doing it.
We're trying. We're coming up with as many different like, you know, verticals as we can to like, you know, because I have that deep belief, dude. Like Web3 has done a great job of galvanizing participation for things. Like, but man, we suck at producing value, like real tangible value. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, we brought up the example of DeFi where you're locking up funds, but by locking up funds, you're providing liquidity for a service, right? So there is some value, but it's not obvious.
Yeah, I guess it's not. Yeah, I said tangible. Yeah, I guess you're right. These are definitely very valuable things.
Yeah, it's just not obvious, though.
Yeah, and I guess even NFTs, like, you know, Bored Apes, it's valuable. It's a new IP.
Yeah.
Obviously, Web3 is doing a great job at spinning up new IP variants and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, man.
I think we could do better.
Rovi's a new IP.
Correct. That's right.
So yeah, I mean, that's just a simple example. So so yeah, tokenomics, AI, like I don't know, all these components may be necessary. Like I think every project can leverage artificial intelligence, even just at the basis of like the community, right? Because I don't think every project wants to be answering every single question every single time. And especially if AI can just kind of take over and just answer those questions automatically, right?
Yeah.
But then, you know, something with our project like Rovi, we need to support this little guy so he could battle, right? It's still a battle bot. But then this might be like on my phone, on an application, a Rovi application, where I can ask it all the questions that I need just because I need the intelligence aspect.
Correct. Or you could just pull them up. Yeah, like an AR app or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Where we could like literally just, you'll be standing right here, dude, right on our table.
Yeah.
This little guy.
Yeah.
And then within that, maybe you could speak into your phone, and that's how you're communicating to him, right? And he's being like, "What up? What's up, dude? You know?
Yeah, personal Rovi, dude.
What you need?"
Yeah.
He's like, "No, man. I was just, curious about
what's the latest in crypto." It's like, well, Coinbase is fighting the SEC if you're interested.
Yep.
But
how would it know that though? See.
Well,
it would have to be tapped into some sort of like real time,
like industry knowledge.
Yeah, because I guess GPT is it's like sourcing old information mostly, right?
But did you see Bing and ChatGPT?
Yeah, I did.
It's really cool. It's basically ChatGPT with its old knowledge connected to the internet.
And what does the connected to the internet part provide? Like,
let's say you're comparing two different products. So you would be on Amazon, like looking at two different products, and then you could ask the Bing AI, it's like, what are the pros and cons of each of these products? And it'll give you. You just give it the link, and it'll tell you the pros and cons of the products.
Wow.
You couldn't do that with ChatGPT.
Yeah, I guess not, right? But they just acquired them, didn't they? Or
no, Microsoft invested in ChatGPT, or OpenAI, I should say.
And then in exchange for that, like, they were able to integrate into Bing.
I don't know if an exchange was made there. I think they're leveraging the protocols or the API calls there.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, that was damn. Isn't that kind of like squirrely? Like, it's like they had insider knowledge. They're about to release this like super sick version of Bing, and then they bought the thing that that's not like internal knowledge, right? Because it's an open source thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't think OpenAI is as open as it used to be.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure, but nonetheless, Bing AI has shat on Google and embarrassed them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's like Google investing in itself, I guess. They knew they were going to create some sort of new cool product with the OpenAI stuff.
Yeah.
And so they're like, you know what? Let's just throw a lot more money at it. It's going to only enhance our Bing service now over time if we give more money to OpenAI.
Yeah.
And we have bigger ownership now. So it's like, dude.
Yeah, I mean, Google's definitely in trouble because they have like a 95% share of like the search in all of the internet.
Yeah.
And the thing with AI it gives you answers. It doesn't give you options. And so usually when you go to Google, you're looking in general for answers, right? And so you're going to ask AI, not Google, for those answers. So now how much is search going to really dominate over asking AI questions?
I just don't understand how Google could possibly be dropping the ball on all of this.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a great question.
They're supposed to be like the front runners and all this, and they have the most money.
They're definitely concerned, dude. Definitely.
You think so?
Yeah.
Based on what?
Just because they haven't really come up. The product that they showed was a nothing burger.
Bard, right? Or
Bard. Bard. Yeah.
It was a nothing burger?
It was nothing.
That makes no fucking sense, dude.
I know.
Where's all that money going on that R&D?
I don't know. Maybe they didn't have a good model like OpenAI had.
It's fucking incredible. Somebody needs to like do a deep dive on this. Like this is like
they purchased this company called Deep Brain back in the day, and
like
they never
2014 or something like that.
Yeah, they never did anything with it.
What the fuck?
Maybe it was nothing either.
It's probably part of like the Google devices and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, but that's like Siri and Hey Google. Like that's not a.
They just got lapped. In other words, by a smaller fish.
I would say so, yeah.
And I think that's the advantage of like smaller startups is like you get to really hone in.
For sure.
On like
and they can take risks. Google is getting sued like every day, multiple times a day.
By who?
By people of all kinds.
Just for the hell of it?
Yeah. But point is they can't make the same moves as like startups can.
No, fuck no. That's what I mean. Like these big corporations, you know, it's I think much more difficult, I think, to because they're spread so thin. You know, they have so many different departments, but I mean, they have so many resources too, and so many people working. I don't know, man. Maybe there's just not as much passion and drive in those types of like corporate environments as there is like a startup culture.
Well, Google still has an advantage. I mean, they could purchase whatever AI competitor out there that spawns.
Yeah, I mean,
and then all of a sudden now they're competing again.
Yeah, I think Google was probably just working on AI, not so much targeted towards like the consumer demographic, I bet. OpenAI probably just they had much more ambition towards servicing general population.
Sure. Yeah, that was my theory the other day. Is they just don't have anything consumer facing right now.
Yeah, they're probably focused on like I don't know, like fucking logistics servicing for like other big companies, because that's probably where they saw the money at. You know, it's like we're gonna focus on that, like military use.
Yeah, like
defense contracts, all that shit.
Like taking big data and using AI to like make information out of it.
Yeah, like spit out like some
like enterprise AI, basically.
Exactly. I'm pretty certain like that's probably where they pivoted towards, and now it's biting them in the ass a little bit. Just, I mean, probably not from like an actual money perspective, just like a public sentiment one.
Yeah, but here's the thing: most of their revenue comes from search.
Yes.
And the very thing that makes them a ton of revenue is the very thing that's being attacked right now.
Yeah, you're right.
So there's no excuse.
Damn, no excuse. Yeah. Strong words, dude. But you're right. I mean, this is probably going to go down as like one of the bigger like corporate blunders of all time, depending on how much damage is actually done by this. Like,
yeah, I mean, if AI really takes over here and really solves our questions.
See, that's another thing. Yeah, like there's still like an adoption curve scenario even now.
Yeah, but I can show you right now. If I go to ChatGPT and
yeah, I know it's down. Right?
It's down. It can't.
Oh.
Yeah, we're experiencing exponential high demand. Please hang tight.
And that's probably like 10 million users or something like that.
Yeah.
Which that's what I mean. Google's got billions of daily users.
Yeah.
So like that's what I mean. Like I don't think Google's in any real danger. Like they're not gonna get lapped by this.
But
because it's gonna take time for like, you know, the general public to understand the value of this technology and how to use it on a daily basis.
I don't know if it's gonna take that much time. I already think Googling is obsolete. It's dead.
But it took a while for people to understand, like, you know, obviously not like the tech, you know, well-informed community, which is probably like less than 10% of people.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, you know, normal people who just go to work here every single day. They come home. When are they going to like ask, you know, AI questions or inquire?
They were already Googling stuff, I'm assuming.
I know that, but it took them a while for them to get into that like habitual like process. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I told you I went home and showed my wife and my sister this. They could not care less, dude.
Exactly. That's why
they're like, oh, cool. Anyways,
it's like that. You could tell them how tremendously valuable and how much this. Your sister's in real estate, dude. She could probably like get so much like assistance from AI at the moment with all the different tools and services that are available, but it's just not going to hit until it hits. You know.
See, it's we talked about it before. Like you almost have to kind of like hide this tech for people to use it, and I think that's probably going to be the path forward. Is like maybe that's what Google's doing too. That's what they do with their Google Homes and stuff. They just kind of hide it behind these home assistants.
Yeah, it's a UX thing.
So by Googling, you're asking AI a question.
Wow.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Well, that's how it should work. I mean, it's the same prompt, right?
That way, there's nothing radical anymore.
Show me the top 5 OLED TVs.
Is that ever the thing you ask? Yeah. It's like
well, it should
top TVs for sale 2023.
Yeah. Right?
And then what's AI gonna do?
Well, AI will tell you here are the current top 5.
Based on what? Like it just has to formulate its own like.
Well, based on what people are saying about the TVs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll give you like the results and like this is how I came to this.
And then the conversation would be like, okay, tell me about the first one. Like, why is it so good? And it'll tell you. Rather than you and clicking on these different links and then reading reviews and all that stuff.
True. But so you're saying Google could just drop that one day on the world?
They could. I just don't know how they're going to monetize it. So if you listen to the All In podcast, they talk about this stuff and it's pretty interesting.
What else do they say?
Well, they're talking about the monetization aspect of this, how Google is screwed.
Yeah, dude, because like if you Google like best TVs or whatever, like Best Buy and CNET are like going to be at the top because they're probably paying for those clicks, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh shit, you're right. Dude.
Dang.
So now
they don't have an incentive to do this. Is what you're saying? Like, because they're cutting into their own.
Exactly. That's the issue.
Because now there's no bias, like a paid bias, essentially, to the results of a search. Now it's like it's supposed to be like, you know, definitive. Like these are the best products on the market.
Yeah.
Based on the tech specs and the price of it and compared to the market.
Well, the only way you could do that, I would think, would be like you'd pay CNET or whatever to keep writing these articles to train the AI, right?
So that's sort of what Chamath was saying, is that if Google is going to end up losing a shit ton of revenue as a result of this, why don't you right now, today, spend that revenue on like paying CNET and paying all these creators to continuously make content and make their content only crawlable by Google AI.
What's crawlable mean?
Meaning searchable.
Like under their
training.
umbrella.
Oh, I see.
Training Google's AI, not anybody else's AI.
Oh, shit.
So when you create a website, there's a robot.txt, which allows Google to crawl your entire website. So that way it's searchable. And that's why when you create a website, you have to focus on SEO, search engine optimization, so that when people ask Google something, hopefully your website comes up. So now now there's an AI.txt, theoretically. So in that AI.txt, make only Google crawl your website.
Wow.
And so you get paid to have an exclusive, communication between Google AIs and nobody else's.
Interesting.
And so now Google's like collecting all this artificial intelligence. People are going to ask Google a question, not anybody else, because no one has access to that data.
Wow.
And so what Chamath was saying is like Google should spend their money on this today so that they take advantage of their 95% market share, use that money to like keep your existing, trainers, if you will.
But how are they getting a bigger return?
Well, that's the question.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because this sounds more like this is just another way for them to lose money.
Absolutely. But the point is they're going to lose money anyways.
Okay.
So spend that money in keeping your training data.
And then figure out monetization later.
Yeah.
You're going to have to like convince the world. It's like, we have the fucking best AI. So Netflix subscription time.
Yeah.
Everybody give us $20 a month.
Dude, here's the thing, like from a philosophical perspective, like in today's search, you're paid to be at the top. You're paying to be at the top. But for AI, you want accurate answers. You want specific answers. You want correct answers.
Yeah.
You
want to trust it.
Yeah, you want to be able to trust it.
Yeah.
So you can't have influence with money. You can't like influence it to be the answer.
Yeah, if that ever was found out, it's like my favorite AI is like corrupted. It's like, dude, I would be heartbroken.
Yeah, you go to Ask Jeeves at that point.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it would be like, maybe the retailers would be the ones picking up the slack here, because it'd be like, this Sony TV is the best. Here it is at the Best Buy right down the street. Do you want to pick it up?
Yeah. Yeah.
So is that what happens? Like if can we game the AI or the corporations to that point where they just create like infinite blogs where it's just like everything we do is the best? Just tell the internet that, so like the AI cannot decipher whether or not.
Well, here's the thing. Those blogs, they still need to be sort of accurate. Not everything can be the best because all of a sudden nobody's reading your stuff anymore. But I guess they're querying AI.
But that's what I mean. They're not worried about who's reading it. They're only worried about the crawling aspect, I guess. Right? And if that's the case, then I guess it has to come to a point where there's exclusive crawling to AI systems, right? That way.
Yeah, can everything be the best?
Yeah, like literally everyone's ad is just like number one or like first to do this. So it's like, the best. I guess that's kind of like already how marketing works.
It does, yeah.
So it already has to like compute with that, right? It's like everybody trying to sell a truck. It's like apparently everybody like sells the best trucks in America.
Right.
Every company.
But truck makers make the best trucks, right?
Yeah.
Right, in quotes. But people who buy trucks, they don't all agree that all the trucks are the best.
No.
Right? So there's like a separate community that says Ford is the best or Chevy's the best. And so AI takes all that data and says, well, in general, Ford is the best.
Yeah, but there's a discrepancy in like metrics, right? What if there's 2 times as many people saying Ford's the best than Chevy? So then AI interprets that, and then Ford must be the best, right?
Well, yeah, but that's good, right?
Is that good? But that's what I mean. Can't
Ford's
that be
commercials literally say they're the best. Ford is the best in Texas.
Yeah,
they do.
Oh shit!
But everybody's going to say. But
to the AI, it doesn't mean it's the best. If only Ford is saying it, right? It has to be a consensus, sort of.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point. That's the whole purpose of the AI is for them to do the work, not us. us, we keep hearing everything's the best.
So
you're
but
right. The right person, the one who wants to buy the best, they have to do a ton of research.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
So even if it devolved to that level where it's just let's flood the internet with like all the best claims or whatever.
Yeah, there's still
the
gonna
AI
be blog
should be able
posts.
to go interpret much more tertiary value outside of just claims.
Yeah, there's gonna be blog posts where it's like, yeah, Ford sucks. You know, Chevy's better because of all these things. And if there's like a ton of blog posts that say that, you know, the AI should be able to pick that up.
Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah, the fucking marketing campaigns are like like marketing departments behind big corporations are gonna be much more aggressive now. They're gonna because they have to tap into their people now, their communities much more. Like the injection, the value.
That's true. There's got to be people need to agree.
Yeah, people
that
need to be
the best.
People need to be blasting on a regular basis on social media, TikTok, whatever, like the appreciation for the product.
Dude, and now reviews are gonna be not on like under like Amazon's webpage. It's gonna be like everywhere on Twitter. Just talk about my product on Twitter. AI is gonna pick up on that.
Exactly. So
just say something good about us anywhere. Facebook, Twitter, doesn't matter.
Yeah. That's nasty. But what's the incentive for people to really give a fuck? That's what I'm saying. The companies are going to have to like figure out new incentives to get people to come out.
You do,
outside of just building actual good products, is what I'm saying.
You do get incentives to like write reviews. Like you get discounts or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But if AI said, listen, the Ford F-150 is the best truck, why would anybody go buy a Chevy?
I know, right?
Well, Chevy has to do a lot of work now to become the better truck. So that's good for us because now trucks are just getting way better.
Yeah, but man, dude, that would be like fucking company crushing. Like it can be. Like if society and culture gets to the point where we respect and we trust AI's opinion on things so much.
Why would you get a Chevy at that point?
Yeah, it's like definitive, like God just told us Ford is the best in Texas or whatever the fuck it is. Then it's over, dude. It's over for Chevy. It's over for Nissan. It's over for everybody, dude. AI.
Yeah, I can't imagine somebody saying, "Nah, I'm still gonna get a Chevy."
I know.
It doesn't make any sense.
That's
you definitely would, though. They definitely would.
Well,
just to be like counter.
Just to be cool.
Yeah, it's like all you fucking normies, like conformists. Conformists.
It's a whole revolution.
Listening to God.
It's a whole new level of goths. You know?
Yeah.
Like just super like against the grain. But yeah, that's fuck, man. Yeah, AI is gonna change a lot. Fuck. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because we have to feed these fucking things, and like it's the ultimate digester of information, the ultimate provider of fact or truth.
Compile information.
Compiler.
Like something.
Something
useful.
Yeah, and it's gonna improve everybody's everything. So fuck. God damn it.
Yeah, man. Like, I as a consumer, I do a ton of research before I buy anything. I don't know why I do that, but I do that.
Well, because you don't want to make
everything.
You don't want to make a mistake. Right?
Yeah, I don't want to waste. I don't want to waste money.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I am spending a lot of time on like doing research.
Yeah, but
I also like learning about how OLED. What's the difference between OLED and LED?
That's what it is, dude. Because I do it too, and it's just like you like the process of learning it.
Yeah. It's like, what is HDMI 2.1? What is the difference with 2.0?
I must know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like learning about that stuff because I feel like it's kind of important.
Well, it's feeding your fucking AI database, dude. Your data set. Now
true. My own artificial.
Now, like I can actually inquire to you in real life. It's like,
true.
Hey, dude. It's like, what do you think's the best phone to get?
Yeah.
And because you spent like God knows how long looking into all these different phones, I could trust your opinion on things, right?
Yeah. I mean,
it's the same thing.
Yeah. I was like, dude, don't get a PC, get a Mac.
Yeah. See?
It's like, just listen to me, dude.
And I eventually fucking succumbed. Succumbed does not sound good, dude. Succumbed. Eventually, I came around to your your data set, dude. I was like, fuck it, I'll give Mac a shot, dude. Fuck it. But yeah, you want the AIs like that, like you could ask it, and it's like, okay, I'll do what you tell me to.
Because it's easier.
Yeah.
Shit, it'll make my life easier.
You need, but yeah, so there needs to be like reputation, like proof of like correctness.
Yeah.
all these things.
Consensus.
Yeah,
everything.
you just that way we have, reasons to trust different like AI models. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
that's another reason why Google got hammered, right? Because the thing they released gave a wrong.
Yeah, it gave a wrong answer to something about the James Webb Telescope.
How wrong was it? Like super wrong?
No, it said that James Webb Telescope is responsible for the first images about something.
Okay.
And it was just wrong.
Barely.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was, but I don't think that's why Google's stock price tanked. I think it tanked partly because of that, but also they didn't really focus on artificial intelligence. That was the issue. They were like talking about their existing products and how cool they were. And it's like they totally miss like the temperature in the room.
Yeah, everybody's like waiting for their response.
Everybody's cooming about like AI everywhere else, and like Google's like, spend 10 minutes on AI, the other 55 minutes on like fucking everything else.
Docs.
Yeah,
Docs. We got upgrades to Google Docs, guys. You're gonna like this one. You're gonna really own it. You're gonna love this. And like, no, dude. Yeah, read the room. You're right.
Yeah.
When it comes down to like marketing, dude, you cannot fuck up like that, dude. You can't toy with people's emotions,
Yeah, you can't.
You gotta feed the.
Yeah, and then the AI that they showed was underwhelming. So it's like I'm selling my Google stock.
Perfect storm of like fuck. But obviously that's a mistake, dude. You don't sell Google. I think there's no way OpenAI is gonna come in and like dethrone Google single-handedly. There's no fucking way.
Is there
Google has more data than anybody. I don't know how they lose this race.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I don't know how they're gonna lose.
So if anything, that becomes a buy-op if it goes like even lower. But I mean, it wouldn't be the first time like some up and up takes down a big corp.
Microsoft taking down Google.
Microsoft's also a big corp. Oh yeah,
I know, but they're the losers.
Oh, I guess it's more feasible now. Yeah, I forgot about Microsoft.
Yeah,
dude, is Bing gonna make the biggest comeback of the century?
It could.
But I feel like the culture would just meme it out of possibility. It's like,
I don't know, not if it's useful.
You know what? Maybe there's enough like negative sentiment towards Google for how people are. It's like Google was too powerful already.
Yeah, for sure. I
think let's strip away some of their power
and go to Microsoft.
Yeah, I guess that's not much better.
Yeah,
fuck.
But if Microsoft has a better product, people are gonna use it.
Yeah,
it's just better.
This is one of those. Let the market decide. This is the beauty of fucking free markets, dude.
Yeah,
you don't have the government telling us like which one to use. Like we get to decide on our own. And
this is in China.
Yeah, dude. Fuck that, dude. Let the plebs decide, dude, and like let the best win.
Yeah. How it should be.
That is how it should be. I'm looking forward to seeing more of that. But fuck, dude, here we are again, dude. AI all over again.
Yeah, we tried not to talk about AI, but
yeah, the Ordinals was like exciting just enough. It's like, dude, finally something new, like to kind of like distract us from AI a little bit. But that was only cool for like a day, maybe two, and like we went right back to AI. But Ordinals, let's not
NFTs. It's just it's just NFTs on Bitcoin. Cool, it's very cool. The way they do it is very, very cool.
Yes. So we did make a video. Yes. If you want to go back, it was posted some time ago. Literally titled like "Will Ordinals basically like boom or bust Bitcoin?"
Yeah.
Not those exact words, but yeah, you'll see it. Definitely encourage you guys to watch that. That's like our introduction to what is going on the Bitcoin network with these whole Satoshi numeric system. It's fucking weird for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, things are accelerating. There's a little bit of growth.
Yeah.
So it's not going away. It's not yet.
Yeah. There's not a good UI either to like leverage all these NFTs yet, but it's in development. Ordinal's wallet.
Like it's not even close to like.
It's all there.
Marketable. You know what I mean?
So there's a chance that this thing could blow up. It's just hard to.
Yeah.
Hard to know for sure.
Yeah. Right now it's just a game between whales and like super Bitcoin heavy Mac people. I wouldn't call them maxis because the maxis want nothing to do with this shit.
That's true. They don't
like this. So like this whole little renegade
for good, a lot of good reasons too. Like it's not just because they're maxis, right? There's.
Well, I feel it. I feel their sentiment is like, dude, Bitcoin has something really good going for it.
Yeah.
Like, let's not fuck with that.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all that needs to be said.
Yeah.
But the fucking
degen,
whatever in me is like, dude, come on, like you gotta get out of this boomer mentality, dude. It's like,
I don't know.
Innovation is always key.
I would argue that Bitcoin's the biggest innovation in a long time.
Yeah,
outside of fusion.
Agreed. I think you're right. But and then innovation is probably not even like the right word, because
we need stability, security.
Well, everything that's being proposed, like what can be built on top of the Ordinal protocol, it's like it already exists, right?
It does.
So it's innovation, but not really.
This is like competing with Ethereum now. Like all those layer 1 competitors.
Yeah,
it's like
it is.
To you, it's not that interesting because they're all doing the exact same thing Ethereum is doing.
Correct.
The novelty here is that you can put NFTs on Bitcoin. That's what's cool.
Yeah, and I guess that's what makes it interesting, is because I don't necessarily think all these new layer 1 competitors have too much of a shot at dethroning Ethereum.
Right, exactly.
But Bitcoin does.
Yeah, but it won't.
Okay, I'm just saying that's what makes it interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely not a smart contract platform. So
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll let it die then. Fuck it. But we got to keep our eyes on it.
No, we're definitely going to keep our eyes on it. Once there's like a good wallet, like you can actually buy NFTs with reasonable like easiness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we're going to bring this back up and we're going to see if there's degenability here.
That's what it all boils down to, dude. Degenability.
All right. So, yeah, that's the podcast for today. Let us know if you have any questions about AI, tokenomics, Ordinal, Bitcoin, NFTs. And, comment down below. Follow us on Twitter at The Block Runner, at Meadowzone.io, and at Rovi.ai. And we will catch you in the next podcast.
Peace.